Still, I wouldn't, even in comparison to this, I still wouldn't make or consider the NFL a model citizen. But yeah, I guess it is bad. But I mean, at the same time, I'm not surprised.
I don't think anybody's surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the IOC pretty much. Except the IOC hasn't been caught yet.
What's the IOC?
International Olympic Committee.
Olympic Committee.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty dope shirt, by the way, Brian.
Oh, thanks. I like this shirt, too.
Broadway hat.
Alright, you guys ready?
Alright, ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, welcome to another episode of Sports Pulse. I'm Sean McNiff.
I'm Brian Brennan.
And I'm Ethan Winter.
And I totally forgot about the intro music.
What, the music?
Yeah, I'm like, and right now you're listening to absolutely nothing. So do anything.
Oh, way to go, Sean.
Alright. Oh, we should talk about the college, the ACC championship too, since you're at that.
Well, I was going to have that as my walk-off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, can I ask you how it was at the beginning?
Oh, it was awesome. They gave us beef ribs and pulled pork for food and mac and cheese. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping NC State would win, because that would be the better story, but whatever.
Who won?
Yeah.
Who won?
Oh, Florida State.
Florida State.
And Brian's became a lobster.
I'm getting better, though.
That still looks pretty bad.
Oh, you got sunburned?
Yeah.
Really badly sunburned.
I was Brian. So I go down to Brian before the game, and I'm like, "Hey, Brian, did you bring any sunscreen?" And he's like, "Oh no, I didn't think of that."
Yeah,
That's funny.
I didn't think at all.
And Brian's like one of the whitest people on earth.
Yep. I deserve that.
Dude, I went to Ocean City. A couple weekends ago, and I got totally just torched. Like I had some like good beach after that.
Alright.
You guys like Jay Electronica?
Sure, I don't
Jay
care.
Electronica.
Wait, what'd you say?
I
I
like
said
Jay
that.
Electronica.
Cool. Do you know who Jay Electronica is, Ethan?
No, so you could play whatever, and I wouldn't care.
Well, he's the best rapper ever, so.
Alright.
Yeah, he's not. It's not that good, but he's good.
No, he's the greatest ever.
Wait, so Brian, is that a Broadway hat or a Pilgrim hat? Because it looks
Broadway
like
hat.
a Pilgrim
The
hat.
Broadway hat. They give it out to. Whoever has the best game.
So it's like how the year the Bruins won the cup, they had the Bruins starter jacket from the 90s or 80s.
Yeah, kind of. They've been doing this for a couple of years now, actually.
Oh,
I
okay.
love it. Lundqvist got it last night, even though Broussard should have gotten it.
Alright. Our intro song is going to be Ghost of Christopher Wallace, and our outro song is going to be Exhibit A, featuring Bust Out.
All
Both
right,
by Jay Electricity.
sounds good to me.
Let's try this intro one more time. Alright, can we turn our phones on silent?
Yep, they're on silent.
Mine's on silent.
Someone's phone is vibrating, and it's not on silent.
Because
It's not mine.
It's mine. Hang on.
It's not on
Let me
silent.
turn off the vibration.
Fuck you, assholes. My phone's on silent. How's your phone fucking vibrates?
Well, silent.
Silent means no noise coming out of it whatsoever.
If it's on vibrate, put it on like paper or something so it doesn't make noise.
It's on silent. Everybody chill.
Alright.
Alright. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Sports Pulse. I'm Sean McNiff.
I'm Brian Brennan.
I'm Ethan Winter.
And right now you're listening to Ghost of Christopher Wallace by J Electronica, aka J Electronica, and aka J Electricity, aka a bunch of other good old nicknames he likes to spit around. Well, Ethan, you just got back from Durham, was it, North Carolina?
Yeah. In the ACC
For
tournament.
the ACC tournament. How was that?
It was good. The first game, there was almost a perfect game, although it would have been 7 innings because they have a 10-run mercy rule after 7. In every game of the tournament except the championship game. So that was pretty fun, or exciting rather. And I mean, Florida State won. North Carolina got bounced from the tournament because they kind of sucked in the ACC tournament. I mean, it was
they
good.
didn't make it, did they?
No, they didn't. It was Clemson made it instead, and I think the only reason why Clemson was able to get into the tournament, even though they're less than 10 games over 500, is one, they beat Louisville 7-2 in the ACC tournament, and Louisville was ranked number 5 in the country, and they swept Florida State the final weekend of the regular season. So Clemson played well down the stretch, and they were able to make it. And then NC State, oh my God, the NC State Miami game was one of the most exciting, greatest games I've ever seen. Easily the best game I've ever seen in person.
You know what round it was?
What?
You know what round it was?
It was just they play a pool play, so it was just like round robin.
Okay.
And this win, by the way, clinched NC State's spot in the ACC championship.
Yeah.
And so Miami was up 4-3, heading into the 9th inning. NC State loaded the bases. We're only able to get 1 run in, but 1 run was all they needed to extend the game. Fast forward to the 12th inning, Preston Palmeiro, Rafael Palmeiro's son, leads off the inning with a double down the left field line. The throw is offline, goes all the way up the right field line, and he scores on a Little League home run, a walk-off Little League home run. It was the DBAP was going nuts. I mean, fans were going nuts. It was the most exciting game I've ever seen. It was incredible.
Championship game was fun too. I was
What?
there. That was fun.
Oh yeah, it wasn't as fun. The only thing
it was a very slow game. It really, really slowed down in like the 3rd inning.
Right.
They decided I didn't need to eat dinner for a while, and decided to take their time with all the pitching changes and everything.
Who did Florida State beat in the championship? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was all NC State fans.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was.
There were like 5 Florida State fans sitting right to my right, and that was pretty much it for the Florida State representation. And it was everybody else was NC State fans.
Yeah, I bet.
It was a sold out game because NC State was in it. I mean, the three games in the three highest games in the this year's ACC tournament were all state games.
Yeah, not surprising.
Yeah, so I mean they had a good showing. It was fun. I mean, when there's a crowd there, it definitely makes the atmosphere a lot more fun.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Yeah, it sounded like it was a lot of fun. Was the NCAA tournament still going on?
the NCAA tournament, the regionals start next weekend, or like I think tomorrow, or wait, Friday. They start Friday.
Okay.
Um, and then they'll have the super regionals the week after, and then I think the College World Series after that.
Yeah, it goes on for a while.
It goes until like July, I want to say, or almost July.
Pretty close.
Really?
Yeah.
Don, have you ever seen that South Park episode where they're like playing Little League and they try and lose so they don't have to play anymore?
Yeah.
I feel like after a while that eventually happens in college
Yeah.
baseball.
Well,
Yeah,
a
so
lot of those, they go to their summer league teams, and they continue playing all summer.
Yeah.
And then when they get back to full practice, these guys literally play baseball 24/7.
How are they not sick of it?
I
I
mean,
don't know. Baseball's pretty cool, man.
I love baseball, but if I had to play it all year round, I'd be bored out of my mind too.
yeah, I've seen so much baseball the last few weeks. Well, 3 weeks ago, I was announcing a softball regional in the NCAA tournament, Division III, and then last weekend, I was in the Cape announcing Division III regional for baseball, and then last week and the weekend I was in Durham for the ACC tournament, and then today I watched a Paw Sox game. Masahiro Tanaka was making a rehab start. He did not look good. He got shelled for like 4 runs in 3 innings.
Fun.
So
It sounds like no fun. But who also is having no fun is the FIFA soccer officials who got arrested this morning, actually. I believe 6 of them got arrested in Switzerland at a 5-star hotel. I guess they were vacationing or just hanging out or doing quote-unquote business at a 5-star hotel. While the people in Qatar are dying just to build the stadium.
Yeah.
it's like slave labor, right?
Yeah, Qatar literally has slave labor, and people are literally dying to build these stadiums. Like, people are passing away building these stadiums.
Well, it's so hot. Like they've got to be dying from like heat exhaustion and heat stroke.
Well, yeah, don't have a freaking World Cup in Qatar when it's the average temperature is 120 degrees.
The Qatar World Cup is, it's funny, the Qatar World Cup, a lot of people, it's funny, people are calling it the worst World Cup of all time, and it's still what, 7 years away?
Yeah, it's still 7 years away.
Yeah, we don't even know, and it's already a disaster. It was a disaster 5 years ago when they announced that the World Cup was going to be in Qatar. So,
God, dude, was it 5 years ago when they announced that? Man.
Yeah, it was. We've been complaining about this for 5 years now, and finally somebody decided to do something and take down FIFA a little bit. And I don't know if FIFA's going to be able to recover from this, to be honest. These are big names within FIFA being taken down, and at a very critical stage for FIFA too. I mean, you've got the Women's World Cup starts in a couple of days, and you've got the elections in FIFA coming up.
Yeah, the elections are this weekend, but I don't think it's
the elections are scheduled for Friday, and FIFA is going to go on, but there's continuing growing pressure from outside sources, UEFA really wants it to be delayed. Sepp Blatter is basically running unopposed as FIFA president for another 4-year term. That would be his 5th.
Yeah,
He doesn't deserve.
he actually is one of the only ones who didn't get arrested. The leader of the organization didn't get arrested. I don't understand. I guess they don't have enough to charge him, but like
he's afraid to come to the United States because he thinks he's going to get arrested.
That's funny.
He said that last week before all this happened, that he's afraid to go to the United States because he's afraid he's going to get nailed.
Oh, he said that. Wow.
He did, yeah. And then all this happened this morning.
Yeah, he must have had an inside source, and then he was getting investigated.
Yeah, exactly. You might want to avoid this country over here. Yeah. I mean, it's not looking good for FIFA. FIFA has always needed, UEFA said that they want FIFA to start clean. Completely start over. Clean house and just start from the beginning.
Fire everybody?
Yeah. Just start completely over. And I don't think FIFA's going to do that because FIFA is,
They're corrupt.
They're, evil incorporated.
Well, they're corrupt to the bone. But how would you start all over? You just elect everybody,
I think
people for every position.
I think that's what you'd have to do.
Yeah.
Either that or UEFA just takes over while FIFA reorganizes.
Is that what's going to happen? UEFA is going to take over?
I don't think UEFA is going to take over.
I don't know, but I
doubt UEFA
that's just an idea.
You've got to have something in mind if that's what they suggested.
Yeah, I mean, UEFA is probably definitely going to help them out with the Women's World Cup coming up this couple of weeks, actually. Well, maybe sooner than that, I think. A week or two.
Excited?
Yeah, I'm excited too, especially since the U.S. women's team is one of the world's best, unlike the men's soccer team.
Our Women's World Cup team could actually win the Women's World Cup. But, it goes back to, what's funny is it goes back to what John Oliver said last summer. He said, if you love something, you should never find out how it's made. He was talking about FIFA. He's right. FIFA is just like a little slimy organization filled with, slimy people. They treat everybody like crap. Everything that's going on in Qatar is terrible. They keep saying they won't re-vote on the World Cup, but eventually they're going to have to. I mean, they just can't. They can't allow this to happen.
Right.
They can't allow this many people to die on their watch. It's inhumane.
I mean, they can and they have been.
It absolutely is inhumane. And the last time, 2 weeks ago, last time I was on, this was when all the punishments came down on the Patriots, and I was outraged. I'm still outraged at Roger Goodell, and I was making comparisons of him to Hitler. But really, Brian, you hit the nail right on the coffin this morning, saying if you're going to compare anyone in sports to Hitler, FIFA is it. And you were absolutely right.
They're letting people die. I mean, say what you want about Roger Goodell, he sucks, but at least he hasn't let anybody die on his watch. I mean, this is they're saying that the 22 World Cup's going to kill more people than September 11th did. I mean, come on.
That's
At a certain point, you have to step in and do something. And
Brian,
eventually is going to have to re-vote on the World Cup.
Yeah, I have a question actually about that. Do you think FIFA or they could pull the World Cup from Qatar?
Eventually, I feel like it's inevitable, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like they have to.
It's a disaster, and it's still 7 years away. It's not like it's tomorrow. They still have time to do this.
So if they were to redo it or grant the World Cup to a country, who do you think it would be, or should be, or both?
It will, it would and should be the United States. The United States is the only country that's ready for the World Cup, in my opinion, every year because there's so many NFL stadiums. And
Right.
Also,
the United States, you can just pluck the World Cup right in.
Yeah,
I would
and
think that England would be another contender, but I would think it should be in the United States.
What
Well,
other country?
England would be a contender too.
but the United States also came in second place in the voting next
Oh
to
yeah,
Qatar.
United States should get the World Cup. I'm just saying.
Which I feel like it's kind of weird because America is like the best at bribing, and Qatar outbid them. I don't know. That's weird.
Is the best at what? At bribing?
I would say Qatar is upstaged us at bribing a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, Qatar has this thing called oil.
Yeah.
Oh, do they? Okay, that makes sense.
A lot of it.
See, I have no idea. I have no idea where Qatar is. I just know it's
in the Middle East.
You kind of have to squint on a map. Right there it is. It's like that little dot.
Is it in Africa or is it in Asia?
It's in the. Don't ask me. I don't know. All I know is it's tiny. It's smaller than Connecticut, and it's bad.
And they were going to have the World Cup in this country. That's smaller than Connecticut.
Oh, it's right next to Saudi Arabia. Well,
yeah. See,
Or
this
the
is what we're
Arabians.
getting ourselves into here.
And you know,
Oh yeah, that's not a good place to go. I'm looking at a map right now, and it's like,
you know, I kind of feel like FIFA and OPEC, which is the oil organization. Like, I feel like they're very similar.
Probably.
I mean, in terms of it's all like Middle Eastern men that run it and are corrupt and.
But Sepp Blatter is one of a kind. I mean, he is in every way, shape, and form. He's not Middle Eastern, by the way. He's European.
Okay.
He is one of a kind in terms of scumbaggery. I mean, he is like literally. You know what he first off. There's a few stories. It was like a couple of years ago. He said that to make women's soccer more popular, they need to wear tighter clothing. That's what he said. That's his exact words.
Oh my
The president
God.
of FIFA said that. Secondly, apparently Alex Morgan was saying that she went to the Player of the Year banquet, I guess it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Sepp Blatter had no idea who she was.
what a dick.
Yeah, I know, right? And this guy goes to FIFA, he's getting money on the side, he's afraid to go to the United States. They're making it's just so horrible. Everything about it.
Like I'm looking at the map right now, and Qatar is bordering Saudi Arabia, the only border it has. It's in the Persian Gulf.
Yeah.
And right next to it is Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan and Pakistan and all that. And haven't we been at war with this whole region for like 20 years now?
Yeah.
I'd really stick it to them if we got the world.
Yes. But,
I mean, like this
World Cup at this point.
with all intents and purposes, this is a dangerous place to go.
Have a World Cup.
At least if you're an American.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, ISIS is literally right next door.
That's what I'm saying.
ISIS may not even exist in 7 years.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, who knows? Who knows what will happen?
They might also be
They took over a Iraqi city already.
Yeah, Ramadi.
Yeah, they might also be twice as big in 7 years.
Bunch of cowards. But
Yeah, true.
Well, the Iraqi army is working with sticks and stones.
yeah.
You can't really blame them.
All right.
Yes.
Playoffs.
Screw FIFA.
Yeah, I think we got our FIFA man out of the way. NBA playoffs. The Cavaliers locked up the series with the Hawks, which I'm just way wrong. I thought it was going to go to. I thought the Hawks could come back and give them like 6 or 7 games, but they just folded like a chair. Um,
I thought this series might go 6, realistically 5. I thought Atlanta would get 1.
Yeah, me
I thought
too.
they would play with some type of mercy. They just laid over, like they just rolled over. I don't.
Yeah. I
I'm,
mean,
I'm very upset LeBron James is in the finals again.
can I just say this about LeBron though?
No, just
Like,
kidding.
he needs to stop like making everything so dramatic. And he's like faking that he's injured, but at the same time, the very next day, he has one of the best games ever,
Yeah.
and he's like playing like he always does. There's no limp. He only limps when he misses a shot or makes a bad play. And I heard this on sports radio here, and take this with a grain of salt. We're not the biggest LeBron fans up here in Boston, but he is like someone said that he is setting up an excuse for when Golden State smokes him in the finals.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I think LeBron James is wonderful. He's a tremendous player. We're never going to have a player like this. I mean, like,
I mean, I'm not
right
taking
now,
anything
he's,
away from LeBron James as an athlete. Or a basketball player. He's a great athlete and one of the greatest basketball players in the history of the game. But he needs to stop being so dramatic.
I
He
agree.
can't do this type of things anymore. You know, I mean, he shouldn't have to be doing this. Is my
I don't.
point, or he shouldn't be doing this.
I don't know if you guys watched the game last night, but there was one play. I think it was like in the middle of the third quarter or something. Cavs were pulling away. They're up 15 or 20 points, and I think it was Kyrie Irving, like, or maybe it was J.R. Smith. He threw the ball away, and it was a turnover, a steal, like right in front of LeBron. Like LeBron could have taken 2 steps and defended the guy right there, but he just stopped. He like didn't take any steps, just stood there, watched the Hawks run down the court and get a layup. I like it's really really ridiculous watching him play, but at the same time he could drop 40 points on a dime. So
Well, I think that's more of the culture of the NBA. Like teams don't play defense like they used to in the '80s.
No
yeah.
way.
I mean,
I mean, we're living in the LeBron era. This is LeBron's. I mean, this is his time. The '90s was Jordan's era. '80s belonged to Magic and Bird, and now this is LeBron's era. And
I would I would absolutely love to see LeBron go against the Detroit Pistons of back in the day.
you mean
the bad boys.
Yeah, the bad boy Pistons, yes. I would absolutely love it. He would get crushed.
He
He
would
would
have
get,
killed LeBron.
he would get injured so bad. Oh man, I want that. That would be the best matchup ever.
I felt like an idiot after this series because I thought it was going to go 6 or 7 games too. But as soon as Corver went down, I knew it was over.
Yeah,
Even though Corver wasn't exactly great during the playoffs.
I mean, he's not exactly great anyway, but like,
well, didn't he lead the league in 3-point shooting percentage this year?
Yeah, but he's
he's a
one-trick pony.
he's a sharpshooter, but like he's a white kid in the NBA. He barely plays defense. He's not very quick. Like
Yeah.
he's not that great of a player.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think if he was available, I think Atlanta might have won that game that went into overtime. Because I mean,
Yeah.
if you had a couple of threes, then the game's over. Like you don't go into overtime.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
But as soon as it got to Game 4, I knew it was over, and they had the 3-0 lead. That was it for me. I knew there was no way they were going to lose Game 4 in Cleveland, and I feel the same way about tonight's game as well with Golden State. Like now that I think Houston almost did them a favor letting them win Game 4, or winning Game 4 so they could win Game 5 in Oakland. I think that, even though I'm watching the game right now, and
the game just started.
Game literally just started. Houston's actually looking pretty good to start on. but I still think that I'm sure Golden State would prefer to win this series at home as opposed to on the road. So almost feels like they did them a favor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always tough to sweep or complete a sweep on the road, especially in the playoffs. So I'm not that surprised to see Houston win a game in Houston.
Yeah.
But I thought this series would be much closer.
Yeah, I
The
would
Golden
agree.
State Houston series.
I mean, don't count the Rockets out yet. If they win today, it's 3-2 series.
Right. Yeah. And then it gets interesting.
Yeah.
You go back to Houston, and then anything can happen in Game 7.
Yeah. Rangers did that to the Capitals a couple weeks ago.
I still don't think that's gonna happen though. To be honest, I can't really see. I can't see Golden State. They've only lost 3 games at home all year.
Yeah, I don't see. They only lost 3 games at home all year.
Yeah, and one of them was in the playoffs to Memphis. So.
Jeez.
That's like the old '80s Celtics teams when they never lost at home with Bird, McHale, and Parrish.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, these guys are really good. Like this Golden State team is just looking better and better, and I think that they're going. I still think that no matter what, they're going to. I think they're going to win tonight, and I think they're going to win the NBA championship, and that's going to set up. If they win tonight's game, that sets up the longest delay between the conference finals ending and the start of the NBA finals in league history.
Okay. So I think that's absurd. I mean, and there was a long wait between the end of the conference semifinals and the start of the conference finals.
Yeah.
Like, I think the series should just start like a day or two after both teams are finished with their respective series.
Well, you can't just like reschedule a multi-million-dollar event for
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you don't schedule a specific start date for the finals. You just say it's going to start whenever these.
I think you kind of have to though. I don't know.
Like they'll say this is the earliest the NBA finals can start, and this is the latest that the NBA finals can start, and they can start anywhere between, based on when the two teams are done with their series.
At the same time, a lot of these arenas probably have scheduling conflicts already. I mean, that's part of the reason that in the NHL playoffs, that Game 7 between the Rangers and Capitals was so late. There was a 2-day waiting period between those. Was that I don't know. I think there was some sort of concert at Madison Square Garden or something. So usually their schedules are pretty filled at the arenas this time of year, no matter where it is.
Well, then unless you're like a team, a perennial loser, just don't schedule events during the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess. I don't know.
You can't. I mean, you're gonna lose out on millions of dollars then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they still have the whole summer.
You can't really.
You're gonna lose out on millions of dollars.
I mean, and also, who wants to go to an indoor concert anyway in the summer? Like, I'd much rather go to an outdoor concert.
I have no idea.
People in New York City. I mean, is there any like fields in New York City you can throw a concert at?
MetLife Stadium.
There's plenty, but that doesn't matter. I still think that.
I don't know.
I still think you can't really, deal with. They're there first. They're not going to move. You're not going to move the Rolling Stones for the start of an NBA playoff game. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, so if the Rolling Stones are playing, you just do it. Start the series after that. After they're there.
I get them.
Wait, are the Rolling Stones really playing at Madison Square Garden?
No, I just used them as an example.
Right.
I was about to say the Stones are still touring. It's crazy.
No, I was just using an example. I was just using the first band that came to my mind.
Yeah, but I mean, the point is like the wait is ridiculous. I mean,
I
just
mean,
start it at the earliest possible date that you can, where there isn't any
I feel like
conflicts.
I feel like if
And
they could have it the schedule flexible, they would, but they really
Yeah.
can't.
but they've done it before, like in the 80s and the
That was
90s.
a long time ago, though.
Yeah, there's a lot more money
It's
to be
different
made
now.
in the day now.
TV rights and everything.
So
I know.
everybody's
The real shame is though that games that start on the East Coast in the NBA Finals still start at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
That's the real crime in all of this.
why is that a crime?
All right, NHL playoffs.
Wait, why is that a crime?
Because it's so late.
Yeah,
That late?
How is
Game
it not? How is that
game
not?
ends at game ends at midnight. It's not that late.
yeah, but like for West Coast games, I can see why they want it at 9 o'clock because it's 6 o'clock there. But like 9 o'clock on the East Coast, like
Yeah, but people on the West Coast
that's
are going to watch it.
ridiculous. Like games should not start that late on the East Coast. Started at
Well, on the West Coast,
or
people
8:30.
work at 5 o'clock, so they're going to come home, eat some grub, and then watch some playoffs at 6
Well,
o'clock.
you just come home from work and watch the game right away, or go to a bar at happy hour and watch the game.
Alright, so everybody has the Cavaliers Warriors finals.
What?
Yeah, you have Cavaliers Warriors finals.
Yeah, I know the
Your
Warriors
prediction?
winning. I had the Warriors winning at the start of the playoffs.
Yeah, I still gotta go with Golden State winning it all.
And how many games? You guys want to say or no?
I'll say 6.
I'll wait till it's official.
Okay. I'm gonna wait till it's official too. I want to say Golden State's gonna sweep them, but
I don't think Golden
No way.
State will sweep.
yeah. Anyway, NHL playoffs are still going on. The Rangers are playing tomorrow night, Game 7.
Friday.
They're playing Friday night. Okay,
Yes.
Friday, the May 29th. I guess at 8 or 9 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Unless that's too late for you. You need us to call somebody. And have
No,
them
8 o'clock is fine.
8 o'clock is perfect.
Alright. But that's.
So going back to that real quick. Sorry, Sean, but like if you're the NBA and you're trying to grow more fans, like you expand the fan base by reaching out to the kids, and a lot of kids are in bed by 9 o'clock.
I'm
So
usually
that's-
by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. All right, let's go back to the NHL playoffs.
Ridiculous. I completely agree.
Thank you, Brian.
I think it's perfectly fine. I have a normal sleep schedule, so I think it's perfectly
You don't
fine.
have to work at 4 a.m.
But actually, now I have to get up at 5:30.
Yeah, I'm already an hour into work by then.
But the Rangers, they just keep coming back. I don't know how they do it.
Every
The
time
game,
you think the Rangers are out and they're gonna lose, they come right back and win.
exactly.
Just tell you, I've been watching this team for my whole life, and I still have no idea how they've been doing it.
Well, I watched the game yesterday. I think it was on Tuesday, and the Lightning just stopped playing defense. It was like 2-1, and it was a good game. And,
Yeah,
I
that's
think it
snowballed.
was the third period where Lightning just stopped playing defense, and Rangers scored 3 goals in a row. Made it 5-1 or 5-2 or
They
whatever.
scored 5 goals in the third period last night. They really,
Yeah.
I think that set the tone, to be honest, for what it's going to be a pretty sweet Game 7 at Madison Square Garden. I'm stoked, obviously. I'm getting excited just talking about it. Uh, it's fun to watch every time. Every time you think they're out, they're never really out of it. I still, even after they lost Game 5, I still thought they had a pretty good chance of winning Game 6 just because of how they just seem to keep coming back no matter what all these good teams keep throwing at them. The Capitals, the Lightning, it's crazy.
Yeah, whenever King Henrik needs to save a goal, he saves a goal.
Oh,
Like whenever they're facing elimination, they need him to like make a bunch of ridiculous saves. He does it. I don't know how, but he does it.
I mean, he is just without a doubt the most. I mean, it's mind blowing how he just always seems to come up big whenever they need him. Like he can suck throughout, games 2 and 3, but then game 6 comes and he pitches a performance like he does last night. It's something crazy. I think both of I could be wrong because I'm watching. I just switched back over to Anaheim, Chicago, and that's scoreless right now in the second.
Yeah, I
So
just looked at it.
Oh,
if
I
I'm
forgot that game
wrong,
was going on.
yeah, if I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong. I'm going to find out within the next hour and a half or so. But I think the Blackhawks are going to win Game 6 in that series, too, and send it to a Game 7. I think both of the conference finals are going 7.
See, this is why the NHL is better than the NBA, and it's because there's so much parity and anything can happen in hockey, whereas the better team always wins in the NBA, and it's usually like a sweep.
Usually that's what the case is. I mean, the Cavaliers showed that they were the best team in the playoffs this year in the NBA. Oh, Chicago just scored.
Oh,
Chelsea
Wait,
Tiger?
so
wait, you mean
and
the
Anaheim
Warriors showed
is
they were the
good
best team in
too.
the? You mean the Warriors showed they were the best team in the NBA? Because you said the Cavaliers.
I meant they showed they were the best team in the Eastern Conference. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did, but Eastern Conference is
Yeah.
Eastern Conference.
NHL playoffs, anything can happen. You could
Right.
have teams like the Tampa Bay Lightning, make go on runs for the Stanley Cup
And
playoffs.
you can have teams that are the 8th seed win the Stanley Cup, like
Yep.
LA Kings
Kings.
both times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both times that they won, they were the 8th seed.
Yeah, both of those were recent too, weren't they?
Yeah, they were all
Last
within the
year.
last 3 years.
Last 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, last year they beat the Rangers. The 2 years before that, they beat the Devils.
Yeah.
Yeah. The playoffs have been amazing. I'm so excited for Game 7 on Friday night.
Are you gonna be a nervous wreck?
I'm a nervous wreck right now. We're 46 and a half hours away from the game, and I am nervous as hell. It's all I've thought about for the last 24 hours is how the hell are they going to win Game 7? And
yeah, because it seems like Tampa Bay won twice in the MSG, right? Already.
they have. I don't think they're going to win Game 7, though, to be honest. I can't. It's so hard to win in that building 3 times as the road team. I just don't think they're going to do it. And I think the Rangers, like you said, they come up big whenever they need to. And they need to come up big. I mean, a berth in the Stanley Cup Finals is on the line. At home, you're in your home building. I mean, you got a chance to go to the Stanley Cup Final for the 2nd straight year. First time, I think, in franchise history. If not, first time in a very, very, very long time. They got to come up big. And hopefully they do. I mean, all the key guys have to come up big. Derek Brassard, I think, may have last night jumped almost everybody for the Conn Smythe Trophy and with the hat trick in Game 6.
Even Tyler Johnson.
If
Tampa Bay wins.
If Tampa Bay wins, then Johnson's still probably the Conn Smythe. But if the Rangers win and win the Stanley Cup, it'd be hard-pressed not to give it to either Brassard or Henrik Lundqvist after their performances last night. I mean, they were amazing.
I would probably give it to Brassard ahead of Lundqvist.
I mean, Lemkos has had some bad games, but every keeper has bad games.
Yeah.
Henrik, you almost have to give it to it's almost a principle thing. But I don't want to talk about playoff MVPs because to do that you have to win the Stanley Cup, and they still
have to get by Tampa Bay
They
first.
still have to get by Tampa Bay, and then they need to win 4 more games against what's going to be a really difficult West Coast, the Western Conference Finals team. Because watching these two teams right now, the Ducks and the Blackhawks, and Chicago just scored again. They're up 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Chicago's probably going to win.
I mean, anything can happen. There's 9:19 left in the
Yeah.
second.
That is true.
Anything can happen, Ethan.
I mean, just 2 years ago, Toronto was up on the Bruins by 3 goals with 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we've talked about this example plenty of times.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you can for some reason.
But I mean,
I wonder why.
it's a perfect example though for what we're talking about. So it's,
Yeah.
I mean, it fits it. It's not like I'm bringing this out of left field, you know.
I'm just so happy that the Rangers have no more games to play in Tampa Bay. I'm so sick of that place. Ethan can attest to this. I have gone on a vendetta against all Tampa sports the past couple of days. Like, I'm so done with Tampa Bay sports. Like, they're the worst. Their arena security is making Rangers fans change when they get into the arena. They're making sure that Rangers fans they're trying to make sure that Rangers fans don't buy tickets.
Although every team does that.
That it's just so dumb. Like,
Wait, they're making Rangers fans change when they get into the arena?
Yeah.
Like, take off their jerseys?
That's like borderline harassment.
They're making them change out of Rangers attire, apparently. I mean, I've just been seeing this on message boards. I mean, it's bad.
I don't think that's...
Rangers don't have to play there anymore. And you know what's great? Tampa Bay, they lose this series. Even if they win this series and win the Stanley Cup, it's not like Tampa Bay. They're probably not even going to sell out if they have a banner to raise. It's a terrible sports market. The Rays need to move. The Buccaneers suck. That's why they got the #1 pick. Lightning.
They got Jameis Winston.
Yeah, good for them. They got the Lightning
Jameis.
The Lightning and their fans are just being ridiculous. I mean, these people, you know, they come out of the woodworks. They probably don't care about hockey. They just care that Tampa has a winning team because they're from there. I can't.
You know, I kind of talked about this before with you, Brian. Like, I don't understand, like, why Florida is such a terrible sports market. Like, in all sports, they're all just, like, front runners. And the baseball teams don't draw well, even though a majority of American-born baseball players are from either Florida, Texas, or California.
Yeah, exactly.
And yet baseball doesn't draw well in either Tampa Bay or Miami. Like, it kind of boggles my mind. Like, I just don't get it.
Well, Florida's a beach state, so they have a whole bunch of other things to do besides watch baseball.
There are plenty of things to do in New York, yet people still love sports.
Right.
I mean, there's plenty of things to do
Well,
in Boston and people love sports. There's plenty of things to do in D.C. and people love sports. There's plenty of things to do in all of our cities. Florida's just terrible.
Right, but you're talking about cities though. Florida is like one whole big.
In general, I'm saying like Tampa Bay.
Right.
They have the same thing. I mean, you should still care. Miami's the same way. Miami, you know.
Miami might be worse.
Miami is just as bad. And
yeah.
If not worse, you're right. And I mean, I've just been on a vendetta. Like, I've been thinking back to all the times. You know, the Yankees have played the Rays, and there have been more Yankee fans there. The Giants have played the Buccaneers. There have been more Giants fans there. And every time the Rangers play there are plenty of Rangers fans, and they can't stop them. It's just stupid. And I think that Tampa, I'm really negative on the whole Tampa sports market. I think it's the worst sports market. I'm so glad the Rangers don't have to actually play there anymore.
All right, walk off. I think that was Brian's walk off.
Yeah, just go, guys. I'm good.
All right, Brian just walking everybody off. Ethan, you want to go?
Yeah, we touched on this a little bit before talking about the ACC baseball tournament. And I went and covered the ACC baseball tournament. It was a great atmosphere, especially when NC State played. It was fantastic. The ballpark there is great, and I mean, it was just great baseball overall. A great experience. I got to go in and interview the players and the coaches and the press conferences, and it was definitely worth the trip. And even though I kind of wished or would have liked to see NC State win, I have to give congratulations to Florida State on winning the ACC baseball championship. Mike Martin is a great guy. He's the Florida State head coach. I think I told Brian this, but Mike Martin is like one of those guys. He's like one of those old-timer baseball people who you could just sit down, have a beer with, and talk about baseball all day. He's a great guy. Yeah, exactly. And he's such a great guy, very personable. And I mean, I had a great time in Durham and and covering the ACC baseball tournament.
Oh, I forgot to mention my mysterious bag that went missing with my program in it.
Oh, yes.
They still, I forgot to call them about it, but I still have no idea where that thing is. It must have disappeared out of thin air.
Well, know what, Brian? At least you didn't lock your luggage in a car.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so my aunt and uncle are shipping up my luggage and computer and stuff. And it has all the books, the team media guides in there also.
Yeah.
That I got from the ACC tournament.
That sucks.
Yeah, that blows.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
6 a.m. I was kind of antsy in a rush, kind of freaking out a little bit because I wasn't parking the parking lot that my uncle showed me to park in. Wasn't even sure if this was a parking lot that there would be a bus to bring you to the airport, but fortunately it was, so I'm back here.
Sweet.
Albeit without my luggage.
All right, I'm gonna use my walk-off to teach you guys a little bit about Jay Electronica, the rapper that was in the intro song and about to be in the outro song.
I know who Jay Electronica is. I said I like Jay Electronica.
Yeah, but Ethan doesn't. I'm pretty sure
Well, I don't
everybody
know a lot
else.
about music.
Well, not a lot of people know Jay Electronica. Me and Brian know Electronica because we're hip hop heads and we love really good hip hop. But he is widely known. Well, not widely known, but he is widely appreciated by the what are they called? The top hip hop artists. There's a word I was looking for, but that'll work. The top hip hop artists. He has a couple of lines in one of his songs, Exhibit C, which, by the way, Exhibit A, B, and C are one of the three of the best songs of all time. In Exhibit C, he says, Nas hit me up on the phone, said, what you waiting on? Tiff hit me up with a tweet, said, what you waiting on? Diddy sent me a text every hour on the dot saying, when are you going to drop a verse? Homie, you taking long. And he didn't say homie, but I can't say what he really said.
Okay.
But that just goes to show you, Nas, T.I., and Diddy, three of the most prominent hip-hop figures, are just begging him to drop a verse, or at least a verse, a song or an album or whatever. He still hasn't dropped an album. Like he has yet to drop an album, but he has mixtapes on mixtapes and songs.
Exhibit C.
Songs.
I've heard that song since I've known that song since high school, man.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That was like
And
6 years ago.
and the song that's taking us out right now is Exhibit A featuring Mos Def, which is just as good as Exhibit C and B. Like, I suggest you I highly suggest you look into J Electronica, everybody, not just Ethan. And give him a listen. And that'll do it for this episode of the Sports Pulse. Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
The Rangers.
Let's go, Lightning.
I love you, man.
Got it. Got it.
For the Rangers.